Hey, hello guys. This is Fede here again, back with another book review, book video. So before we begin, I just wanted to clarify something. As you may have noticed, my background is not my usual background for the last 4 or 5 videos now. Usually, I have my bookshelves and my books behind me, but those are in my living room. And where I live, it's very cold right now. And man, I prefer to do these videos here in my room where it's warm and cozy. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna go back to the background, the book background in like March, man. I mean, it's still pretty cold here. So yeah, just wanted to give you an update on that. Now, let's just go ahead and talk about the book that I wanted to talk to you guys about, The Three Body Problem. Now, the to start talking about this book's story, I think it's useful to look at actual history. The writer is Chinese, and a lot of people refuse to read his books. He is a communist, and he supports the CCP. Now, I don't see what the big surprise is here. I mean, he lives in China, and he is a communist. I mean, wow, it's like being surprised when an American living in Texas says, I'm a capitalist. I mean, we need to understand other societies exist, other worlds, if you want to say it like that. I'm not saying you should submit to the writer's complete ideology. I'm just saying that not everybody is going to think and act under your values. You see what I mean? Now, with that out of the way, let's go to the actual story of the book. The book starts in the 60s in the Cultural Revolution setting, China. Now, that's a setting to catch anyone's attention, I'll tell you that. Cixin Liu, the writer, tells this story from a Chinese perspective, obviously. So, what does that mean? It means that he is going to represent a harsh world, Orwellian in a sense, because that's just how China was or is still for some. This book's a multi POV story, so we follow a young woman from the 60s to the present era. We follow a detective, we follow scientists, etc. But what is the main conflict of this book? See, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. The real catalyst of the story for me happens halfway through the book. So telling you guys what the book focuses on is basically a spoiler. Just know this, it's a science fiction story grounded in reality and cultural change and how we communicate and how the laws of hope of humans can destroy humanity sometimes. And the science fiction elements here, to be honest, I think the book lacked on the science fiction aspect up until the second half, as I said, or so. But even though these science fiction elements are not used to their fullest potential, the ending of this book gave me literal goosebumps, especially the last conversation between two scientists about insects. Now, it made me want to pick up the second book as soon as possible. I haven't, but I want to. If you know what conversation I'm talking about, insects, you know what I mean. Now, the characters, in a great majority of science fiction stories, character development is lacking because when you try to exploit every aspect of the genre, you will get weak character development, and this goes to fantasy, horror, romance, you name it, but nowhere more than science fiction. So this book is one of these excellent exceptions. The first half of the book compensates for the lack of science fiction at the beginning with an incredible character development. You get invested in a character that you haven't really spent that much time with, and that's a good thing for the reader and the story itself. So for the writing style, for example, this book was initially written in Chinese, so what I read was a translation. I can't imagine the work a translator needs to do to be faithful to the original text, especially coming from Chinese. But to me, the message was fast, out loud, and clear. The book is written really well. However, I don't really like to judge the writing of translated works that much because it's a translation. I don't know. But the overall enjoyment of this book for me with this novel, it will be a solid 4 stars if you want to put a number on it. It's a good story if you have a little bit of patience at the beginning. And the book is not that long. I believe it's like 500 pages or so. This is a trilogy, and as far as I know, it's already completed. Netflix is actually doing a TV show adaptation, so most likely it will suck ass. So get to reading, pick up this book, and just keep in mind this is a modern science fiction story. Don't expect a lot of the classic tropes. I like them too, but don't expect them here. This is a beautiful book. I hope you give it a chance. And yeah, man, next month, March, I will be reading the second part of this book, which is The Dark Forest, I believe that's the name. And yeah, this is the problem with this book, man, and the sequels that you're not really able to talk much about the story. If you want to get to spoilers, hit me up in the comment section. I'm not going to talk spoilers here in this video, but I would really like to. So yeah, the three body problem, man. I was expecting not to like this book, but I'm glad that I did. So yeah, give it a chance and see you guys on the next one.